Hey friends, Rob Hipp here of the SHN Sports Association. Today, excited to talk about some of the equipment that I use here in my little studio in East Texas, particularly on the audio side. Now, this device has really revolutionized the way that I deliver audio through my broadcast here on this morning show that we do, and also really for my sports broadcasting. It's compact, it's easy to use, it allows me to play commercials, and so much more. Today, well, here it is. It's the Zoom PodTrak P4. You'll learn more about it right now. Well, friends, let's dig right into it. I'm showing you now the Amazon description page for the Zoom PodTrak P4. I absolutely love this device. By the way, there is a link in the description to go directly to this on Amazon. $149 is all that you're going to invest in this piece of equipment. It's by Zoom, USB interface. You can also power this by 2 AA batteries. It's also very small, as I showed it up just a few moments ago, 10.8 inches by 11.6 inches. And then when you look at it, the thickness only about 2.5 inches or so. It has 4 high-quality microphone inputs with phantom power, 4 headphone outputs with individual volume control, so no need for a headphone amplifier anymore if you're using a bigger mixing board. There's also 4 programmable sound pads plus multi-track recording for all inputs and sound pads. I don't utilize the sound pads, but they're there. If you want effects, someone clapping, you can put your own audio on those 4 programmable sound pads that you see there with A, B, C, and D. There's also an automatic mix minus for call-in phone interviews, remote interviews. They also have a TRRS jack and USB audio interface mode. And by the way, those batteries, up to 3.5 hours on just 2 AA batteries. So you can also take this device and record podcast audio without having to have a computer interface. So one thing that I really like about the Zoom PodTrak P4 is its size. It is extremely portable, which makes it ideal for going into tight situations. When I'm doing sports broadcasting, I have to sit on bleachers a lot of times, or I'm sitting outside. I no longer have to carry a big, bulky mixer. The Broadcast in a Box was a product that we developed that does have its uses, but for simple broadcasts, this is absolutely the way to go. I love, too, even though it is powered by batteries, those can act as a backup. I use the inputs here from USB. There's a power input for 5 volts through USB, and then also your data connection as well. Now, you don't have to have a headphone amplifier anymore if you have more than one headset like you did with traditional mixers. I love this device. I use a 3.5 millimeter to 1/4 adapter, and that's how I convert in, so I'm able to have my audio right here playing back through my headset. You can individually control the volume, too, of the headsets with these knobs on the bottom. As I stated earlier, there are areas here to where you can put in your own custom audio through these sound pads. I don't use them, but they're there if you want to use them. It's got a little bit of music there, as you can hear, some stuff that's built in by default. Again, I don't really use any of these. You can have, background clapping. That's just something fun. I typically don't ever use these, as I said, but this device is absolutely great for what you need. I want to dig in a little bit more about how I have the USB connection set up, because for the sports broadcasting side, these are all the components that I use. Again, links are in the description to purchase all of these products. I mentioned earlier having the 3.5 millimeter to 1/4 adapter. That's how I get my headphones to be able to plug in so I can hear the sound back. The USB cable that I was talking about earlier, the great news about this is you don't have to have USB-C to USB-C. So even though these devices, and by the way, I'm going to go ahead and pull the power out of this. Here's what's cool, because I have the backup batteries in. I'm still on right now, even though I've pulled the USB power. So the benefit of having that cable USB-A to dual USB-C is I really only take up one USB port on my laptop. And the good news is, if you got an older laptop, you don't have to have USB-C. You have a USB port, it'll work just fine. So I recommend using the splitter cable and also having the batteries in there. So once plugged in, this device will show up under your audio properties. I'm on a Windows 11 machine, and it shows up as headphones and then Zoom P4 audio. That's how I'm able to hear the audio back through my headset. Now, I'm just showing a video here of me talking from a previous project, but just for the sake of this video to show you that audio coming in through OBS, very simple to set up. Just under your properties, you want to make sure that it is set to microphone Zoom P4 audio. As you can see, my levels are here at the bottom. If I turn it up a little bit more, the level will go up. I can crank it back down. And very simple to use, and I'm doing that just through the device itself. Now, one of the other features of this device is the mix minus, and I use this particularly on my show every day. Now, it'll come in on port number 4 here. If you're using port number 4, that will disable your ability to use the 4th XLR, so you do have to keep that in mind. But my 4th channel is designated for calls that I take, and all that I do is I just set the recorder to that Zoom P4, and that's how I pull in that audio. We use an audio software called Jingle Palette. This is what we use. It's open source. I use it for all of our commercials. But the way that I have the mix minus set up on port number 4 of my Zoom, again, I don't have to have any other cables. Before, you would have to have a dual 1/4 adapter to 3.5 and plug that into the microphone port of your laptop. All that is now gone. It can all be done through this Zoom by itself. I mean, here's just an example of me playing commercials like I would during a broadcast.
For over 3 decades, Georgetown has relied on the craftsmanship and expertise of Brennan Remodeling for all their major renovation and addition needs.
You kind of get the idea here, and the way that I have that set up in Jingle Palette is through the audio sources. It's just set up as the headphone Zoom P4. And because of the mix minus feature, that audio is not going to ricochet back. So again, this device can really do everything that you need to do. I love using the Zoom PodTrak P4 every day for all of my broadcasting needs. It's a product that I highly recommend, and at $149, friends, you really can't go wrong. For more details, be sure to join the SHN Sports Association. Maybe you have questions on this device. You want to get a little bit more technical? Well, I can really dig in with you on those questions when you join the association. It's super simple. Just go to members.shnsports.com and join today. Very affordable. And again, we can provide extended support on how to use some of these devices. By the way, the cables that I've used, the adapters that I talk about, all of that is included in the description in this video of where you can purchase those. Again, friends, Rob Hipp for the SHN Sports Association. We're here to help you succeed. Have a great day.